That's not a vehicle you get to see every fucking day. The i8 Roadster, that's fucking tight. I know it's not graffiti related, but I had to share this bad boy with y'all. That's fucking pretty. Beautiful fucking car. Alright, what's happening, people? So, the fucking Q&A ended up coming out to like fucking an hour and 3 minutes if I put all of the fucking questions answered into the video. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna split it up into a two-parter. I'm gonna post this one tonight, obviously, which you're watching right now, and I'm going to post the rest of it tomorrow. So be ready for that, and yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. And don't worry, I'm gonna get to all the fucking juicy shit tomorrow. There's a couple of juicy questions that I answered today as far as like my homeless situation and shit like that, but I'm gonna get to the real juicy personal shit tomorrow. And yeah, we'll talk at you soon. Peace. So I figured for today's video, we can do a little fucking review of this guy right here, the Art Primo Press and Go, which is essentially just a cheaper, I guess, kinda, I don't know how much cheaper or more expensive this is than a Presto by, I can't remember which company, I'll have to look it up. I think it's Pentel. Anyway, the Presto by, I think, Pentel versus the Art Primo Press and Go, as far as my knowledge is concerned, which one is better or worse? Which one do I like more? And which company do I want to support more? Along with that little 150 subscriber Q&A that I was talking about doing. Are you guys gonna go? No, you're not gonna go. Okay. Dip, 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 dip. Anyway, yeah, I think that's what's on the menu for today. So far this is pretty tight. I like it. I've used it quite a bit already. It doesn't really seem to kill ink too much or anything like that. It seems to write really well on most surfaces that a Presto or any other whiteout marker would be able to handle. So yeah, as far as that's concerned, I think this is getting a pass from me. But we'll do a more comprehensive review after I catch a few tags and show you all what it's capable of, along with answering some of y'all's questions that you got from me. And I've been looking at them when you guys post the comments, and I'm really liking the questions you guys got from me so far. So I'm looking forward to answering those for you guys. So let's fucking get it, boys. I almost forgot West Coast Graffiti and tags here, and you know what the fuck it is, boys. It's time for another fucking video of me writing on shit illegally. So, let's fucking get it. One of the many spots that I missed out on filming because my shitty phone decided to go from 50% to 0% in 5 minutes. Not anymore, boys and girls. I like this. Alright. try to be a little bit quiet. But I'm going to answer the first question here. Let me check. Alright. I think I'm going to go with living situation on the streets, how and why. Hold on, let me pause this video. Alright, so living situation on the streets. How it happened. Well, it's a long story. Long drawn out story. But as far, where do I start? Please watch for bicycle traffic when you exit the bus. This is a little bit too awkward. I got people looking at me. I'll call you later. Anyway, oh my fucking god, of course it starts pouring fucking rain right now, right when I pull the camera out. Anyway, so first question, my living situation, being homeless, all that good stuff. How did that happen? How did it play out? La da 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 da. It's a long ass story, and I really just don't know where to start, but I'll try my best to just tell y'all as best as I can how that went down. So I moved down to California and was living there for about 8 months. When I came back and stayed with my parents with the expectation that everything was going to be cool with them and we were going to be all right with each other. And it just wasn't that. I've always been the black sheep of my family. I've always been the odd one out. I've always been singled out. And it's always just been a fight with my parents and me. So, sorry, I didn't realize there was, gotta keep that lens clean so you guys can get the good shits. Anyway, so I've always been the odd one out. I've always been different from my family, you could say. So me and my parents have just never jived. We've never gotten along. It's always been arguments and fights. They've always treated me differently than my siblings. I have 2 brothers and a sister, and they've always just treated me differently than them. And so when I came back from California, I was hoping, being away from them for some time, for almost a year, it would be different. But it's never different like that, you know? That's not how it works. So, and what really broke the camel's back, the straw that broke the camel's back, was actually money related, of course. That's how it always fucking happens. And so I'm just gonna put y'all down for a second. And so, sorry, take a sip of Red Bull real quick, y'all. So what happened is my friend owed me money. He came and paid me the money that he owed me, and I wasn't home. So my dad grabbed it from him and got it from him and never told me about it and kept the money for himself. And my friend told me, or asked me, like, yo, did you get, this music is really fucking with me, hold on. And my friend asked me, like, yo, did you get that money I gave your dad? And I was like, no, what money? My dad never said anything about that. And when I asked him about it, my dad was like, oh, you owe me that money. I'm keeping it for myself. And keep in mind, this is money that I needed to pay bills, that I needed to like keep my phone active, and I needed it for important things. I wasn't gonna blow it off on something stupid. Like, I needed this money. And so my dad and my parents, anytime we would get in an argument, it would always be like, oh, if you don't like it here, then why don't you leave? Like threatening me like that was a scary thing or something. Like I was worried about leaving their house. And so I was like, yo, dude, that's not cool. Like, I need that. Give it back. You need to give that to me. That's not yours to fucking keep. I don't owe you anything. And there's so many fucking people around here. And so when I confronted him about that money, he was like, no, you owe that to me. And so we got in an argument over it, of course, because I didn't feel that I owed him anything, because it's not like I borrowed anything from them. Yes, they paid for me to live and survive for my entire life. Holy shit, I'm gonna take cover again for a second. No, they won't. Holy shit, fuck this weather. This weather is bullshit. And so when I was like, no, you need to give that back to me, he got all up in arms and was like, well, if you don't like that I took that from you and you want me to give it back, like, you can just fucking leave, man. And that's when I was like, all right, yeah, later. And I haven't looked back since. It's been over a year. No, not over a year. It's been just under a year. I left right after all this corona shit popped off, right after I turned 26. And I haven't been back there since. I mean, there's other stuff that goes into it, trust issues, this, that, and the other thing. Really personal stuff that I don't really want to get into. But that's pretty much the basic premise of it. Is I was staying with my parents. They did me dirty by taking money that I really needed from me when they are financially stable enough to not need that. They were trying to make a point or something like that, and I did not appreciate that. So I told my dad to fuck off, and he told me that if I don't like the way he treats me, I should leave, and I did. And I haven't talked to my dad since, and it's been almost a year. Me and my mom are cool. I talked to my mom today, actually. Like, we're still good. I love my mom dearly. She loves me. But in all honesty, like, the living situation with my parents, living at their house, was just not good. It was a really bad situation for all of us. No one was happy with it. My parents didn't like me being there. I didn't like being stuck there. My parents live really far away from everything. They live out in the middle of nowhere in the countryside. And I'm obviously more of a cityscape person. I'm at my most comfortable in a city environment like this. This is where I feel comfortable. And so it wasn't good for me to be there, and I finally fucking bit the bullet and left. And I haven't looked back, and it was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made. I wouldn't be where I am with YouTube if I hadn't left. I wouldn't be as happy as I am right now. I probably would have killed myself by now, honestly. Like, to be real with y'all. Ooh, a penny. Shiny. Oh my god, this is getting back to what I was saying. I probably would not be here anymore. Fuck. Walk sign. I would be here still if I hadn't done that, if I hadn't left at that point. So I do not regret it one bit, even though I'm not living the most comfortably I could be. Even though I don't have a house over my roof. I'm much happier out here than I ever was being there, and I'm so glad that I made that decision. Yeah. She's running a little bit low already. The one thing I love about being on the streets is situations like the one that I was just in. Hold on. The situations like the one I was just in, just wandering up on random people that are also on the streets doing the same thing you're doing. And just being able to have a great, awesome conversation with them. No questions asked, no strings attached. And being able to walk away at the end of it and just feel like you have gained something from it, and whether it be good or bad. And I love that aspect of being on the street. But at the same time, it also just really sucks sometimes being out here. Anyway, moving on. We'll talk at you soon.
You ever heard of Antigos?
Oh, fuck. Man, I'm losing it right now. Alright. Sorry. I didn't really get into anything. I just got lazy and started watching YouTube videos. And kind of stopped filming for like an hour and a half or 2 hours. So let's get back to it. Where was I on the questions? Let me check. I know we did the really personal one already, because I remember that. Let's see, which one is looking good right now. I'll do these three. Alright, so the first one is, do I have any tattoos? No, I do not currently have any tattoos. I don't have any plans to get any in the near future. Oh my god, I can't talk right now. I don't have any plans to get any in the very near future, in like the next month or two, but I do have a couple that I want to get that are just like tribute tattoos to people that I knew who are no longer with me, or just like tattoos of like little monikers and freight drawings that I like. Actually, those are the only two tattoos I plan on getting anytime soon. One is a moniker that I really liked, one of the first monikers that I really started noticing on freight trains, and one is the phrase "Carpe Diem" right here, right on my pinky right there. Sorry, hard to film. But on the front side of my pinky, because a friend of mine who committed suicide tattooed that on himself while I was with him when we were in high school together. He did it in a church bathroom across the road from the high school that me and him went to. We both had a free period together, and he ended up committing suicide, and that really hit me hard in high school. So as a tribute to him, I wanted to get that tattooed on me, and I just never got around to it. I still plan on doing it, but other things got in the way. So that's the tattoo situation right now. Next one is, how did I learn to do graffiti? Trial and error. I grew up in a really small town, in a really small community. I grew up in the middle of the fucking farmland with no big city around me that was close within walking or biking distance of me. So I just kind of figured it out. I mean, it took a lot of trial and error and practice, and just a lot of fucking time and effort of me just constantly drawing in black books, constantly going or doing tags over and over and over again. God damn, I'm snotty and fucking spitty right now, and it is difficult to talk. Anyway, just constant repetition of tagging and just constant practice over and over and over again. I could not even tell you how many hours I have put into practicing my tag for all 3 of the names that I've written. 3 names that I've written over the time that I've been writing. And it's just an astonishing amount of time, which can lead me into another question, which is how long have I been writing graffiti? And I have to do the math. Let me think. So I've been interested in graffiti for as long as I can remember. There were times where I was going up north from where I lived, and we would have to come through this lovely city right here on I-5 northbound. We were going to Bellingham, and we would roll through Seattle, and it would always be fucking bumper to bumper traffic. So it would take an hour and a half to get through the city on I-5, which would take 10 minutes. And I was always just completely astounded and blown away by the graffiti that I would see underneath I-5 and the spot that they call the jungle on I-5. And that is just, it fucking grabbed me from the balls at a very young age and held on tight. And here I am in my mid-20s, still fucking on it today. Graffiti is the craziest drug I've ever done. Easily. And yeah, so I've been interested in graffiti for 20 years probably. I've been seriously painting graffiti for, I'd say, about 10, if not 8 years probably. Generous estimation 10, more lean estimation 8. So yeah. And the final question in this clip is do I wish to keep progressing and getting better at graffiti? Of course I do. I always strive to progress my style, change up what I'm doing, change up how I think about things, always trying new letters in my black book. I can't fucking film angles. I'm sorry. I'm like not paying attention. I need to be looking at the camera, not at fucking not the camera. Anyway, I'm always trying new different things in my black book. Excuse me. And just trying to change up how I do things and what I do and how I think about different ways to write and just different means of doing it. And that's how I've come up with all of the things that you see on grocery store get-ups. It's just experimenting, trial and error, and just finding out what works and what doesn't and sharing it with you guys. And yeah, that's those 3 questions. So yeah, we'll catch another clip here in a second and I'll tell you or answer some more. All right, what's up? I'm here at the spot that I like to charge my shit at. And let's get to answering a couple more of these questions. Alright, what is next? Ooh, what made me start YouTube? So I've always wanted to have a YouTube channel for a long time. I've been trying to get a YouTube channel to take off Usually what I was doing is car-related stuff. I was trying to get a car-related YouTube channel to take off with my friend, my very dear friend who I used to paint a lot with, actually. And I was always really into it, and I was always trying to film us doing things to our cars and modifying our cars, because me and him were constantly working on cars together. So it's like I always thought, like, man, why don't I just film us doing this, and we can make money together doing it. And it was just a lot harder than I expected. I was a lot lazier and not very motivated to make videos, because it's really hard to motivate yourself to make videos when they get 7 views each. And so eventually I gave up on trying to make car videos and just kind of transferred over to making videos about graffiti slowly. And that I just wanted to fucking do something with my time, honestly. Like, I just didn't have a lot going on. I didn't have a great job. I wanted to make money off of it, obviously. Like, I mean, that's not the only reason I do it. I love interacting with you guys. I love sharing my story with people and sharing my life with people. That's really, really a big factor in it, is just being able to share and like network with people and have a community with people that are cool and nice and like see the world the same way I do. That's a big part of it, is like networking and community, because I haven't really had a big community to like be a part of ever, really. I've always had a really small group of friends. I've always been kind of a loner. Like, I had a lot of friends in high school and stuff. I was cool with everyone, but I never really like had that like fucking set in stone like group that I mean, that's not true though. Like, I had a set in stone group of kids that I kicked it with, but I don't know, I've always just wanted that feeling of like community and stuff like that, and I've always found that with YouTube and making videos, plus the fact that I could make money off of it possibly has always been a drawing factor. And being able to make money off of doing something I truly love and am passionate about is really awesome feeling. So that's a big factor of it. And like, yeah, just stuff like that has really pushed me to make these videos and keep doing things like that. Where was I born? I was born in Tacoma, Washington, on 19th Street at Tacoma General Hospital. I'm not going to tell you how old I am or my month, or the month that I was born in, because that's a little bit too much information for you guys. No offense, but it is what it is. Craziest things that's ever happened to me, I'm going to get to that one later, because that's a long story, and that can be like the finale question. Which I kind of want to do these in like order of like easier to harder kind of thing, and I want to work them into each other kind of. So so I will do these two together. Have I ever been caught, and how? Yes, I have been caught. I have been to jail twice for graffiti and spent a grand total of like 4 days in jail because of graffiti. And the thing that I've heard the most in jail for being in graffiti, or for being in jail because of graffiti, is you can go to jail for that, or like, man, they put you in here for that. And I'm like, yeah, it's a true thing. So, and how I got caught, the first time I ever got caught, actually no, I've been caught school. I've been caught 4 times. Once in high school, I got caught like tagging bathrooms, and they like I was like tagging all the bathrooms in my high school like regularly every single day. They would clean it, and I would go and tag it again. And so they built up like a really big portfolio of my work and just kind of pinpointed who was doing it, because I went to a pretty small school that didn't have anyone else that was doing that. So it was pretty easy for them to figure out who was doing it. So that's kind of stupid on my part. I learned a really good lesson about like not painting in a small town and not like being so easily trackable with my graffiti. So that was actually a really great experience, even though it sucked getting in trouble. Didn't get in major trouble, like no felonies or nothing, had a diversion. And yeah, like nothing ever came of that. The second time I got caught was out of high school. Me and the dude that I was talking about earlier with the car YouTube thing, me and that kid were just absolutely wrecking the small town that me and him lived in at the time. And again, people were just getting really pissed because we were the only two people that doing graffiti in the town pretty much. And we were like really active with it and like trying to get up as much as possible and just like destroying everything. And again, the cops built up a portfolio on us, and then someone actually ended up giving them my Instagram is what happened, I believe. And they kind of just caught on to that through my Instagram and figured out who I was. Showed up at my parents' house. I was like 19 at the time, fresh into adulthood. And I had cops show up at my door. My mom let them in stupidly, and they just like came in and searched my shit and found a bunch of graffiti supplies, and like I had canvases with my name on it and stuff. And they're like, okay, this is all evidence to use against you. You're under arrest. Took me to the jail, and it was all she wrote from there. That one was another situation where like I got off pretty easily because it was... Unfortunately, I don't have any money today, so I can't go there. Darn.